Hey, hey, you could go. Hey, you could.
Walk closer. You got it? You got it both hands. Now go closer and get your cop.
Hey, you could go here. You ain't think it, Mac. But look. Kill a cop. I can't go to green down. Black, not white. Look. Hey, people. I could think I could come get you. Get where how get where I will go like that. Good like that. But that thing I will urge is dying.
Out is that there is a huge difference in America between white Americans and black Americans. They are treated very differently, and although I do not want white Americans to experience what we have experienced from the police, I want the police to come to an agreement with us to give us the same opportunity to have the same protection from them that white Americans have. Latinos, we need the same protection for Latinos. We only want to be treated like people. That's it. Police brutality is out of control. When a black person gets abused by the police, it's like, okay, whatever, we have to riot. When a white person does something, I saw a white woman punch a police officer and they still kindly asked her to detain herself until she fell and tripped, and then they zip tied her. But a black man jaywalking is gonna get pulled over and thrown to the ground. That's not okay.
Talk to me about tonight, though. When you see the damage all through the area, what do you make of that? And what is the purpose, I guess, of that? Tell me.
The damage tonight is necessary. You know why? Because this is how we feel every day walking down the street. We don't get to see the beautiful buildings that everybody else gets to see. We get to feel like we don't belong there. We get to feel like trash. We get to feel like garbage. We get to feel like we can't come here. But we came here today because we want to be a part of it. And if they don't want us to be a part of it, we want you to see what our reality is like. This is what we feel like when we walk down the streets. This is what it's like to walk down the streets and this chaos. I'm afraid every time a police officer drives past me. I have a clean record. I have never committed a crime. Law-abiding citizen. I have gone to college. Yet I get pulled over every time I'm driving my car because it's a 2020.
And what, playing devil's advocate, because there are those that are saying this won't change it, this doesn't answer it, we need to do something differently. Violence doesn't beget violence. What do you say to that?
I say that the police need to change because they forgot that they work for us. The police work for us. They work for the people. Since when do you get to go to work and tell your boss what to do? Since when do you get to go to work and tell your boss to get on the ground? When do you get to go into the office and kill him and then still keep your job? And everybody loves you.
Tell me about the curfew tonight. There's an 8 o'clock curfew. Are you planning on staying out, and what are you kind of sensing with that when you're out here tonight?
It's after 8 o'clock, and they absolutely issued the curfew because we were peacefully protesting. We were all kneeling. We were kneeling. We were not violating anything, and they started to throw smoke bombs at us. They shot rubber bullets. We caught a police officer lighting a car on fire. That is not okay. They're putting that on us. We did not do that.
I know that I saw it myself, some of the protesters were not that peaceful, that were throwing rocks and bottles to initiate. So that is part of why the reaction comes, is it not?
Yeah, it's, it's not. But one thing that I absolutely want to say is that there is a group of angels out here. There is a group of angels. They are Caucasian, and they are out doing extractions. They are coming in, and they are barricading us from the police, from the bullets, and they are offering rides to people, free rides. They're letting us come into their cars. A stranger got us out, and now we're out here to get other people out. We have our car nearby, and we're just trying to save lives and keep people out of jail. Coronavirus is here. We don't want anybody else to get sick.
Can you tell me what's your first and last name?
I'm Jane Doe.
Where are you from, Jane?
I'm from Los Angeles. I actually was born in Los Angeles, California.
If part of this, does this not, I know you want change and it needs to happen. Does it break your heart in a way, though, to see this much damage kind of throughout the area, that this is what it's taking?
Listen, it breaks my heart every day that I have to be afraid for my little brother. And I have to be afraid for my nephew. That breaks my heart. Right now, we're controlling the situation per se because we actually know what's happening and we're getting our message across.
How do we change people's perceptions, though? How do we really change the race relations in this country? How do we make a difference?
We bring awareness because you know how many people don't know who George Floyd is? So many people know the guy with the knee on his neck. They don't know his name. We have to let them know the story. If you know the story, you'll know his name. If you know his name, then you'll know that it's wrong. And if you know it's wrong, then you'll stop. Or maybe when the officer had his knee on his neck, what if all those people standing by rushed that cop? They would have all gotten beaten up, maybe zip tied, but he'd be alive. And I can't sit at home right now and stay there watching all of this on the news and not help because I'm able-bodied. I have no children, I'm not married, I'm able-bodied, and I'm suffering, and everybody else is suffering, and it's my duty as an American to protect us.
I appreciate your time very much, Jane. I really do. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Be safe tonight. Thank you.
An apparently never-ending pattern of dead, black, young men at the hands of those who are supposed to protect them. Tonight, we see a wrong after a wrong. And yes, two wrongs don't make a right. But if we don't address why we keep ending up here, we'll never make things right. It isn't the rebels lighting fires. It isn't the media exposing the reality. The problem is the reality. Just look at the last 3 months. Forget about policing. Look at the toll of the pandemic. More people of color are getting sick and dying. Why? Less access to care. More minorities are losing their jobs at a faster rate. Yet they make up the higher percentage of those at work right now in jobs deemed essential. Imagine how that feels. Helping more and being helped less. They stand a greater chance, minorities, of getting stopped for wearing and not wearing masks. Those government small business loans, they didn't go evenly to the majority and minority. Most went to the majority. In one America, people rage for the freedom to get a haircut and a tattoo. The other is raging just to be seen and heard. One America says they won't wear a mask because when they jog, it's uncomfortable, not necessary. It's an affront to their liberty. One has renewed fear that going for a jog could get you killed. One America insists their need for football is so sacrosanct, there can be no kneeling protest on the sidelines. Sons of bitches. But is not outraged by a cop kneeling on this man's neck? Doesn't make it okay to riot, says the majority. But doesn't it depend why it's happening? A riot in Boston Harbor started the fight that amounted to America. Cities burned across the continent in 1968, again at Stonewall. In each of those cases, it was the minority manifesting a desperate plea to be heard and for change, just like now. A friend of mine, celebrated American and African American, asked me in a broken voice, why doesn't America love us? Why do they do this to us? And he wasn't just talking about this latest case, he was talking about all of it. And by America, he meant me. He meant you, the white majority. And you can listen to those who put it on the minorities. Violent, outrageous, lazy. They hate the majority. They don't comply with the police. They are the tyrants. Look what they're doing in the streets. You're judging symptoms and you're missing the illness, and you know it. It was Nelson Mandela who said, when a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. And you know this is true. More poverty means more crime, means more interactions with police, means less avenues to dignity, to power, to change, for hope, for respect of the law, and for optimism that drives ambition to live the American dream. Please don't just see the death of George Floyd. See all of it. Yes, this one is on video. And yes, it's so obvious. So that you can say, well, this one I get. It's not just this one. It's that the officers in it seem to be saying, we know it's wrong, and we're going to do it anyway. That's why the minority screams. Not just this video. It's the prosecutions that don't happen, the cases that aren't on video that you don't see, and the prosecutions that do happen of the wrong people, the punishments that are too harsh for the crimes minorities commit. It's the laws that make it harder to vote and easier to be out of a job. So you can listen to those who say, put it on the minority, they're the tyrants. But it's still going to be your problem. You know why? Only the majority can fix it. The minority doesn't have the power. My father joined a generation of leaders from and for the minority, calling out this tale of two cities to you, the majority. And here I am, his son, almost 40 years later, and we have yet to answer the call. A house divided cannot stand. United we stand, divided we fall. E pluribus unum, one out of many. We are all in it together. How many times must we try to teach the same lesson? The pandemic will pass. The case will fade into the others, but our real problems remain. They'll only go away when we finally realize that minority and majority must come together, or America will never be her best.
We over by the Federal Building. We over by the Dirksen Building. We by the MCC Building. They have lost control. This is from years and years of disrespect. Where they at? Let's go this way.
Bro, I'm downtown. Oh, okay. Keep walking, bro.
We need to be on Michigan. Look, they scared. They're not even coming outside. They scared. Brother, let's go. JD, let's go. You guys, from the looks of this, Facebook family, there's been 400 years of oppression. There has been 3 decades of a systematic oppression in the city of Chicago. What we are witnessing and what I'm witnessing right now, you guys, is that what I've been saying for a while. These cars. Man, look at how they did 12, man. This is the way that we really, this is the way we supposed to feel, man. After we've been shitted on, after we have been beat on, after we have been mistreated, after we've been lynched. This is how they, nah, we ain't scared. What that say? Wow, man, we had a state of emergency. It's power to the people, man. Let's go. Built this country. Power to the people. And that's why they're so afraid. Power to the people. That's why they're so afraid of black and brown, because we are the most intelligent people. Black and brown are the most intelligent people on this planet. They can't deny that. They can't deny it. You got it. They just destroyed. Look at this shit, man. Look at this. They have lost all kind of respect. They've lost all kind of respect for leadership and guidance. They've lost all kind of respect. There's nothing left here but the city.
I sure would like to hear that. I sure would like to hear that we are all Americans and we all need to stick together. We all need to come together. Because if we can't live together as Americans, then what do we have? Do we even have a country anymore? This is unbelievable what is happening here. Unbelievable. From west to east, east to west. I have shown you pictures of just about every major city in this country, from Los Angeles to New York, to Washington, to Seattle, to Philadelphia, to Chicago, to Minneapolis, Miami, all over. When did this country get out of control? When did we lose control of this country? When did we cease to be a country, a group of people who wanted to at least live together in spite of the differences? Because of our differences. Isn't that the whole reason for the thing? That we are here because we are different? That we're supposed to try this grand experiment? And let's not forget, if anyone is judging this, I'm not judging this, I'm just wondering what is going on, because we were supposed to figure out this experiment a long time ago. Our country was started because this is how the boss...
Hard to see. The people who don't see it don't want to see it. I don't have sympathy for people who don't see it anymore. I've honestly never had sympathy for people who don't see it, but I at least gave them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you'll learn. This is the social media age. Now there's visual evidence. Maybe you'll get it now. But I don't have that anymore, and Black people are tired. Woo! We are so tired. There are Black people who are like, I don't want to march. Because we've been marching. I'm tired. I'm tired of putting myself in danger. And it's not danger from the protesters, danger from the police.
Now, I want to give praise to those here in Chicago and across the nation